Motors are warming up. We are about to leave Moorhaven. This dock is kind of expensive at $1 a foot. That could equate to about $1,000 over the course of a month. But they only allow you to stay for 5 days. And I'm not sure if this is the 5th night coming up or if it was last night. I don't remember. Yeah, I'm a little bit out of sorts. We were also told that this place is almost always empty. Can't always believe what you're told. I don't think there's an empty spot on the dock. But Good Times and Kon Tiki are just getting ready to leave. Fortunately, D'Artagnan came to hang out with us. He's going to go over with Mike to the other side of the lock so we can shuffle our vehicles forward. The day was getting long and the lock closed at 4:30, so we needed to get because 4:30 was coming up quick, and that was our last chance to get into the lake. And we knew the wind was going to blow. Fortunately though, I had 2 motors and I had help this time because dead ahead there was a lock to transverse, on the other side of which was Mike and D'Artagnan's trucks, which we would get to after we got through the lock. And we're free. You can see how crowded it was. Looks like we got a couple boats up there ahead of us. Although I'm not the biggest fan of a lot of boats and crowds, there were some very nice people that I met on that dock. We're going to be circling for a while. But there was no time for that. Now I was to guide D'Artagnan through his very first lock. You're not tying off. Okay. They have lines dangling usually. Uh-huh. And you just hold it? Yeah, when we get up next to one, you're going to grab it. See how that person's doing on the stern of that boat over there? Yep.
Alright, Mike, y'all still on there?
Roger that, Jody.
Y'all have a good trip around there now. Enjoy every minute of it. I'm jealous.
It's always nice when we get to where we're going and we can shut everything down and we know nothing disastrous has happened.
I hear you, everything's running cool and everything. Gotta train them dogs how to hold work.
I'm just worried that it's going to jump off.
I hear you.
Alright, we're about to head through.
Alright, man, take care.
It's always cool to see the lock doors open with all the water pouring out, so leaves all the tension that you feel coming up to the lock. And it's an amazing thing to look upon, especially neat when you have somebody on board who's never seen it. And it's also cool to share with you guys. Through this achievement of mankind, around the corner to the starboard was a public dock where Mike and Tan would get off so they could move vehicles forward to our next destination. And I got to explain to D'Artagnan how to fit a large boat in a very small slip.
It's got to be at least 6 feet at the end of that dock to tie it again.
Yeah, as long as we nose in, it should be fine. What you're going to probably do is jump off onto the dock. Okay. And then I'll try to throw you a line, or you got a line right there you can drag with you, that stern line. Yep. Although these docks were designed for boats much smaller than ours, the conditions were very fair, and we weren't looking to be here very long. So it seemed a perfect place to pull up and hang out for a little bit. Mike didn't have his chart plotter on, so I read off depth readings as him and I came up together to this dock. It's 6'5", 6'3", 6'2". Holding it 6'2", 6'1", 6 foot. Which side? Whatever the wind wants. Probably the left. 5'8", 5'7".
These guys would both get in their vehicles and drive forward to Clewiston, leave one of them there, and then come back together in the other's vehicle. My job was to stay behind, watch the boats, and do not much of anything at all.
6 foot, 6'1", 6'2".
I'm sitting here in my hammock. Good Times is tied up over there now. I'm tied up here. I'm letting the engine cool down so I can check my coolant level. That one's been losing a little bit of fluid. Port motor's doing great. It's that starboard side, it always gives me trouble. I think it's just a small leak. But yeah, I'm sitting here eating Pringles and having my lemon water as the sun is descending. One of the things that we have encountered on this trip is the logistical problem of moving cars around. There'll be a time when we don't have cars, and that problem will go away. But for the time being, it's very convenient to have a vehicle, especially with Mike going back home and everything like that, and us needing provisions, and you know, like I said, it's been a convenience. Today, after we left Moorhaven, which over there was a lot of boats and traffic noise at night, and you saw there was a lot of people. This is glorious. We are right outside the lock, Moorhaven Lock, I would call it. I can't remember if it has a specific name. Anyways, the lock is closed. We were the last ones, so there really shouldn't be any boats going through here. There's one more car and a little trailer up there. Probably somebody out there chasing bass or gators or whatever. There's the occasional noise of an aircraft. It's really nice. I can't tell you how peaceful this is. I think we're going to see some times when boating is glorious and there's just the ripple of fish every once in a while, or the call of birds. And other times it'll be hectic and there'll be a lot of boat traffic, and you know, there might be a little more stress, but I'm loving this one. The end of this day has yet to come. When the guys get back after jockeying some vehicles around, we're going to get on the boats and continue towards Clewiston. Hopefully we make it there before dark, although I'm doubting it. But even if we don't, we'll just drop anchor and head across Lake Okeechobee in the morning. There's a plane way up there. Anyways, yeah, that's the Great Loop, or at least part of it.
It's big.